All right, YouTube. So today I just wanted to talk to you guys about the possible tech options that you can play in terms of attributes for the main deck for Vanquish Souls. Some of the cards that I'm not going to be mentioning are Ash Blossom, for example, because that is a staple hand trap in most people's decks at the moment. So that is why I'm not going to be using that one in the example for this video. The attributes that we mostly need in this deck are Fire, Earth, and Dark. There's more darks than there are of anything else, but I want to start off with the earths. So one earth that people are using are Ghost Bell for against Branded and Kashtira. Ghost Bell is actually really good. I don't main deck it, I side deck it because most of my list has the sufficient amount of earths, which is going to lead into the next one, which is Fenrir. I do play triple Fenrir in mine, so that's why I have enough earths. As well as two other cards that I will show you in just a second. So the one being the Kamungus Sticky Kaiju, just to get rid of towers and problematic cards. Next one that I main deck is Dino Wrestler Pankratops. So free special plus tribute on the field to target a card on the field to destroy. So this is my out to skill drain in the main deck. The last one that I have not tested yet, but I'm going to test pretty soon, is Alpha, the Master of Beasts. So with Alpha, if the total attack of my monsters is less than my opponent's, I can special summon this, and then return any number of beasts, beast warriors, or winged beasts I control to the hand, and then return that many face-up cards on the field to the hand, equal to the number I returned. So it's just a simple back and forth, and you can use this effect to special summon as many times, I believe. It's just the effect to bounce back that you can't do multiple times. That covers all the earths. For the darks, I've seen people main deck Shifter. I personally do not like maining Shifter, as for me personally, I just don't see it as often in the main deck when I play. I just don't get into it, so I'm like, I don't use it. The main ones that I do use are the Bestials. I did cut a Druis Worm just to test for another card that I'll show you in a second. But I have been main decking at least one Magnamut, so in that way it's an interruption during my opponent's turn if they have a monster on field. Plus, it lets me search for Valius Caesar at the end phase. One that I might be testing soon is Phantasmi. So because most of the decks that I've been playing have been like Dragon Link or Marincess or any other decks that control Link monsters, I can special summon this, get it out, draw at least one or two, and then have an interruption on field, plus it's dark. So one that I was side decking was Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. It is a dark, so it also depends on your build, because if you play things for countering certain metas in certain decks, you will need to have those cherry targets in your extra deck. Trag is my troll test. It is a dark. Most of the time that when I'm playing, I do have pretty large hand size, so because of that, Trag ends up being at least minimum 2,400, and if not on the next turn, 3,000. And because of Borger being able to give me the ability to draw on my opponent's turn and on my turn, I do end up with a huge hand size, plus the advantage of my Vanquish Souls being different levels, like 8, 7, 4s, give me the ability to either steal my opponent's monsters or go into XYZ plays with Trag. And then another one that, just to be funny, I thought was to have a Gorz, the Emissary of Darkness. For those of you that are too young to know what Gorz was, pretty much the main reason why people attack in lowest attack value points to the highest is because of Gorz. Because people back then, with an open field, would just attack for, let's say, with an alpha, attack for 3,000, and then, oh, my opponent then reveals Gorz, special summons Gorz, and then they get a token equal to the damage that they just took. And that damage is equal to attack and defense of that new token. So think of like a nib token in that sense, like that. So I just thought it was a funny tech to include in the video. That's it for the darks. The fires are very small. Kurikara, I main 2. I like Kurikara because then I can play around on my turn if my opponent has any interruptions. Like if they decide to want a Mirror Jade, or I don't know if they want to do like an Exo Sister play where they mill something from my graveyard, banish something from my graveyard, or do something, just any card that does something on my turn, then I can just tribute it and then just attack for huge amounts of points because it gains 15 for each monster attributed that activated the effects. And at the end phase, I get to special summon a monster from my opponent's graveyard. So it could be, you know, if I attributed a Fenrir, then I get a free Fenrir if I don't have one. So it's just free resources at that point. I main deck one Dogoran just because the defense points are low. Defense points are 1,200. And for Dr. Madlove, if I reveal, I believe, a Darken and Earth, I can return one monster with the lowest defense on the field to the hand, and if it's a tie, I get to choose. Dogoran is 12 and Madlove is 2,000, so Dogoran would be the smallest. So it's a free monster removal, and then I get it back for another attribute as well, or another interruption to get rid of something on their field. Another card that I have not play tested with is Golem. This could come in handy because if I play Borger and I have, let's say, like a Kaiju or a Kurikar or an Ash in my hand or a Raisin or a Pluton, then I can burn my opponent for 15 during their draw phase, and then during their standby phase, Golem takes another 1,000. So this is just another thing that I could tech into the maybe possible side deck to help for control of the game for burn and situations like that. But that was it. Not a long video, but again, I just wanted to show you the different types of attributes that I thought would be worth playing, different cards that you can consider trying out for your builds. You know, if this was helpful, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.